Live from the studio of his parents' basement, the Have You Seen It podcast.
Hello and welcome back to the Have You Seen It podcast. My name is Mason Knight. Sitting across from me is the one and only Cash Krause. But before we begin, if you guys can please be sure to smash that like button, comment below, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell notification as we drop videos here every single day. Cash, we got a lot to jump into for part two.
Let's get right into it.
The Kenobi series.
Part two, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Okay.
Jumping in.
Let's jump right into this.
Yes.
Okay. So we did not bring this up in episode 1, but I have to talk about it.
Yeah.
So obviously Princess Leia, or not at the time, but Leia gets kidnapped. But dude, this chase scene was so wonky and so Disney.
Oh my God, you're 100% right.
And as I'm watching this with my wife, we were both like, "Oh, this is so corny." They're like doing this.
Yeah.
Like, we're gonna
They're
get
doing a
you.
thing where like she runs past when one guy like goes like
He's
this
like,
and like
"Oh!"
whiffs and like
Yeah.
just grabs himself. Yeah.
Well, and then like as like they're doing the long shots,
Yeah,
like
why
she's
do-
right,
why?
and they're like running at 40%. I'm like, just grab her.
Yes.
Come on, we don't have to do this.
Yeah, why are they toying with her like they're 90s bad guys?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It was totally wonky, dude.
It was so cheesy. That was the first episode though, right?
Yeah, it was. But I had to bring it up because we
Yeah.
didn't bring it up at the very end of
Well,
episode.
big part of that is she gets kidnapped by Flea.
I flee, yeah. Apparently he's got a side hustle.
Yeah, he does. He's doing pretty good. But it's the whole thing just planned by Reva.
Yeah.
Just to get
Kenobi to come out of hiding.
who is a sister of the Inquisitor. Yeah.
Yes, the third sister.
Third sister. Just get Kenobi to come out of hiding, which is a pretty good plan. But yeah, so right off the bat, we get Kenobi. He's no longer at Tatooine. We're on a new planet, Daya.
Dayu?
Man, this planet's fucking cool, dude. It's like the Blade Runner planet.
It is definitely the Blade Runner planet, man. It is
Everything's all
Party
gritty
Central,
and,
man.
Yeah, everything's all neon. It's just everything I've always wanted out of Star Wars for so fucking long, dude. I was so happy. But yeah, so basically, Bail Organa, he had to call his old pal. You know, of course he's got a number. He lives in a cave, but he's got a cell phone he can call anytime.
Shows up at the cave even.
No, like
very
everyone knows
intrusive.
his cave's at.
I know. And I'm like, not very secretive.
But yeah, shows up, tells her my daughter's been taken. He's not doing a good job, obviously, and it was way too easy to kidnap this future princess.
Well, she just couldn't quit running out into the forest. She loved the trees. She loved to climb.
Let's get a guy on her, okay? Let's get
But-
one guy following
Yeah,
her.
I know. But Kenobi goes, you know, so he gets on a ship and he goes, and he meets my new favorite Jedi of all time, Haja Estri.
Haja Estri, and what a cameo! I didn't
man.
even know he was gonna be on it. But
Yeah.
Kamal Nujani, man, that's big for him, man. As a big nerd,
So funny.
that's got to be huge.
Oh,
for
it's
him
got to be one of the best days of his life.
Yeah, and to
Being
play
a Jedi.
like, quote unquote, you're playing a Jedi are fake anyways, but you're playing a fake version of this
a
big
Jedi.
Jedi. Yeah.
And I love it. I love this scene. And like they did a really good job with the comedy in this, where it wasn't too hokey, but it was really funny because he's like, you will let them pass. You will let them pass. And then like as soon as the family leaves, he's like, hey, did you get that? He's like, yep, got it. All right, we're going to do it again.
yeah.
So
A perfect
great.
scan, really.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah, and
All
again,
Bagnets too.
Yep. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Remember, because when Kenobi comes back in, he's like, "Oh," whoosh, does it again. So funny.
Yeah, that was. I wasn't sure at first. I'm like, is he really gonna be a Jedi?
No, I knew right away it was.
I wasn't
a
sure
scam.
if it's like at this point, like this is what the Jedi have come to.
Right.
Is that they are just now they're just hucksters and like cheap tricks and whatnot.
Yeah.
Something fucking cool about this episode is we get a Tamora Morrison cameo playing an old clone. That is something that you do not see.
Not just an old clone, but part of the 501st.
Yeah.
Which was like with Kenobi.
Yeah.
Majority of the time.
Well, that was Cody's division, wasn't it? Yeah. That's so cool. I want to see a version of just like what happens, because the Bad Batch kind of gets into that.
Yeah.
It's like what happened to all these clones when they don't need them anymore.
Right.
Because at one point they said we can't trust clones anymore because they're so easy to manipulate. So all these guys, they pretty much just kicked off, and they're like basically what we do to our veterans now.
Right, exactly. Which is a very sad thing.
Yeah, we kick them to the side.
I want to know if
cool.
that clone trooper recognized Kenobi or not. It was kind of it was ambiguous.
To me, it was like the guy was like so far gone doing it on
Yeah.
the street and whatnot that he didn't even recognize him.
Yeah.
At this point, Obi-Wan does look a lot different from what he did 10. It was 10. It's a decade ago too. But
I wonder though. I wonder if he'll come into play though.
I don't think so. I think it was just a really cool scene, but just super cool to do.
It was awesome
because it was such like a moment for Kenobi too to be like, these are the guys I fought with. Because in the Clone Wars, the TV shows, you realize that they grew a big bond with a lot of those.
Oh,
clones.
Absolutely.
Because they were the general, they were in charge of those guys. But super cool.
One, especially in the 501st too, the actual people that he worked with, which is even more like devastating.
And to see him on this random planet, but this is a heavy episode for Kenobi because he gets some bombs dropped on him.
Yeah, quite a few. Quite a few. Kenobi's not doing great right now.
So they kidnap
Leia, and then he
take her to this planet.
Ewan McGregor's daughter was the one that gave him some spice too, which comes into play later on. Yeah, which is pretty cool. Pretty meta.
Ewan McGregor's aunt was in the original trilogy. She was a pilot for the Rebel Alliance. She was one of the pilots that gets blown up at some
talented
point.
Family.
Yeah, so this was a really big deal for him to get the first role because it was like a family tradition at that point. But yeah, he follows her to this planet. It's just a trap to be sprung by Reva. Reva and the other Inquisitors not seeing eye to eye already.
Well, Reva is just way too ambitious. She does what she wants. She has no sense of hierarchy.
Well, she doesn't want to kill all Jedi like the Inquisitors do. She wants to kill one Jedi.
And that's Kenobi. She's got a big vendetta against him.
Tunnel vision.
Yeah.
For sure.
Kodak Black tunnel vision.
Yeah. But she's like, I know. And like, they're all like, you could tell they're all wearing a word. Like Darth Vader, like he's giving us like missions like we gotta do
these because Vader's is not very forgiving.
Exactly. And but no, she's just one after another betraying the Inquisitors till at some point I'm like, they're gonna chop her down.
That's what I kept, especially the fifth brother. He's getting the most irritated.
He's pulling her. He's so cool looking too.
He is. Yeah,
they gave him like the modern, like the straw hat.
Yes, but it's like in an Inquisitor helmet. Yeah, it's super dope. But he's fed up with her shit. He brings her into the alley and was like, hey, you do this again, I'm not going to like it. I might cut you down myself.
Well, eventually they make her leave.
Yeah.
They say, you're out of it. You're done. She goes to the rooftops, which is an awesome scene in which she's jumping on the rooftops. Super fucking cool.
I like that whole battle scene, too, with all the bounty hunters, too. And you knew it was going to happen. But all the bounty hunters get this bounty of Kenobi sent by Reva, not by the Inquisitor. He's pissed about that, too.
Because they don't want competition.
Because it's their job.
They don't want competition hunting him down,
And so he locks down the city. But I like that battle, the laser blasters and everything on the rooftops. It looked really cool.
Oh, that was all the different bounty hunters.
Yeah, all the aliens.
You even got the robot guy that's in like with Boba with all the bounty. It's so cool, man. Yeah. And this is like a bounty hunter planet.
It is, for sure.
It's like a pirate planet or whatever. It's
like a cleaner version of Tatooine, right?
Yeah, or a very dirty version of Coruscant.
Yeah, a good mix, good blend.
Yeah,
there.
exactly. Where Tatooine is like, it's like the backwoods.
It is, for sure. But you're dealing with like the huts and the gangsters.
Yeah, where this city is like kind of like a dirty ass New York, future New York, where it's like there's only bounty hunters, there's no cops or anything.
Right.
It's just bounty hunters. So it's super fucking cool.
And drugs and spices being sold. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and we actually get like a actual use of the spice, which you hear about a lot in Star Wars, but you never see drug use.
Right.
You can't
well, that's what was so clever of Kenobi. He just dropped that spice
and they
super
high.
Super high, dude. And they're like, what's going on?
Yeah, and that's Flea. Flea can fake it probably pretty good.
Or he's probably actually. But yeah, no. So that all happens. That's a lot of fun. But we should probably get down to the final scene of this, Cash.
Well, there's a few twists in this one, man.
There are a few.
Should we talk about the Grand Inquisitor? Should we get the bomb dropped on Obi-Wan?
Hold on, what?
Well, Obi-Wan
part first?
Well, should we do the Grand Inquisitor twist?
Yeah, we could, but let's do this real quick. Haja ends up helping Kenobi.
Haja, who's of course faking everything.
Yeah, but he realizes he's a real Jedi through the bounty, and he's like, "Well, I want to help you now."
Yeah, I think it was kind of the thing of like, "Holy shit, these Jedi still exist."
Yeah,
clearly he was a fan of the Jedi.
Yeah,
like,
sure.
he knew everything about him and whatnot, but he was using them as his advantage.
And I thought for sure he was going to set him up.
For sure.
Because remember, with the boy who comes in, he's
let's
like, yeah,
go.
let's go get him. And I was like, oh, no, is he going to set up Kenobi here? But he didn't.
No, and he's lucky he survives.
Yeah, he
Which
is.
that's one thing I wish that they would have. Unless maybe he'll probably come and play again.
Yeah, he'll probably come in later on.
I thought for sure Reva was going to cut. Yeah. Like, for her to just walk past this guy who was pissing her off.
Right, and help the Jedi escape. I really thought they were going to kill him.
So he must come into play at some point. Otherwise, it's wasted.
And also Leia running away. Again, we get another runaway scene.
I can't trust you.
Ew.
Well, look how much stuff I've done already.
Right, what do you want
Save
from me?
me.
I mean,
Why would
goodness.
I be here even?
But it sets up a big critical moment where we're kind of starting to see Kenobi's powers come back because he uses the Force to help her not splat on the concrete. Yeah. So that's always helpful.
Took a lot out of him to do that, too. I mean, she was a foot off the ground.
Yeah.
Like, he was cutting it
super close.
But yeah, so we finally, but man, he is weak.
Yeah.
At this point, he is very, very weak.
And then
I don't mind it at all. He's going to get that back.
Of course. Yeah. And you want to see that character development. You want to see that journey of Kenobi.
Yeah, because it would make no sense for him at all to 10 years of being out of practice, not doing anything.
Just be great.
Yeah. I know, he's so stupid. And he doesn't even use his lightsaber. He uses his blaster most of the time in this one.
But man, he gets some bombs dropped on him.
Well, let's talk about the Grand Inquisitor.
Okay.
Who, this was funny to me because people remember when this first came out, the Grand Inquisitor. People were upset about his makeup because he doesn't look like he does in the Rebels.
Yes.
People
or in the prequel trilogy.
Yeah, he does.
Because we see that in Revenge of the Sith.
Which I wasn't too upset. Every time I see this kind of thing, it just kind of is something that has to grow on me after a few episodes. Mm-hmm. But they must have been laughing, being like, don't fucking worry what he looks like, okay? It is not gonna go. It's not gonna matter.
It's not gonna come into play very long.
Because what a twist, man! And I liked it a lot. Of course, you want to see that character do something cool.
Yeah.
But at that point, if you watch Rebels, and you've seen a lot.
But
of
it retcons Rebels if he
weird.
Does die.
That was the part I didn't understand. Yeah. Which does not make sense because Rebels is canon.
And he dies in Rebels too, but that's later on down the road.
Here's what happens in Rebels, though. Yeah, I know, and that's later after these events. But or no, it is. Yeah,
it is. It most certainly is.
In Rebels, you don't see him die on screen, though.
Right, he falls off the...
Well, he kills himself rather than face Darth Vader.
But he falls in that fiery pit, dude, which he's
But a lot of people do.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
Sarlacc pit. Yeah. Everyone falls.
Maul getting cut in half down the shaft.
Palpatine getting electrocuted, then thrown down a mile-long shaft. Yeah, so who gives a fuck?
It's Star Wars.
So what do you think about that?
I
haven't seen very many people. Is he not dead?
I don't think he's dead. Because
that's bad for Reva.
It is bad for Reva, which I think would make more sense down the road.
This got to be stabbed in the chest,
right? When Qui-Gon couldn't survive
that. A lot of people get stabbed in the chest. I mean,
Maul's been cut in half. It's Star Wars, so like anything goes, right? I don't know, but it was But before,
I like the idea of getting rid of this guy and setting up a new villain immediately.
Yeah, I not so much. I just don't know if we're going to be able to have enough character development with Reva to really like solidify a brand new antagonist and really care the same way that we would care with an established villain like Grand Inquisitor and Vader. So it does worry me.
No, well, I'm 100%. I don't think you need to keep using the same villains over and over again. I think you already established that character enough to where you've given her a background and a reason to hate Obi-Wan. Obviously, and I think now she'll most likely, if the Grand Inquisitor's dead, she'll most likely be the new Grand Inquisitor. I'm gonna guess they're gonna bump her up or something. That's what's because no one's gonna
if they don't hunt her down.
No one's gonna know that she killed him. She 100% is gonna say Obi-Wan killed him.
Yeah, that's true.
And then they're all gonna be like, oh, now Obi-Wan is the most pressing.
That's a good point.
Yeah, so it's gonna end up working out for her. But Obi-Wan gets a bomb dropped on him. Let's talk about that. Is they let him know someone's still alive.
Yeah, well, Reva does, which is really strange. So how does she know that Vader is Skywalker? Because Sidious says Skywalker's dead, and even Vader in the third person will say that Skywalker is dead.
I'm guessing her being a Padawan at the time it kind of just putting the dots together. It was like, hey, this guy came in
right as
he started hanging out with Sidious a lot. And I got a feeling that people in the Empire know more about that than everyone else.
Right, probably.
Cause, especially if you're higher up, for sure. I'm sure not some lonely grunt stormtrooper probably knows it. Right. But the people on the high up probably... Because you got to imagine, where did Vader come from? People are asking questions.
Of course. From thin air? No. Like, this guy's been around. And there is surveillance footage of him being like, rise, Lord.
And there's almost no Sith that did not become a Sith that was once a Jedi. Yeah. Besides Darth Maul, but almost every other Sith was once a Jedi at some point. I'm sure other Sith are completely aware because almost every sister and brother of the Inquisitors were once Jedis.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure they're probably connecting the dots that this guy's still around. Yeah. But I love how they shot that scene because it hits Obi-Wan like
a ton of bricks. For sure. And then we, obviously Obi-Wan and Leia escape.
But everything goes quiet in the earth. Everything kind of zooms in on him, and he's like, is this guy still fucking...
Yeah. Well, imagine, dude, because then they do the flashbacks again on Mustafar of Anakin burning alive, his flesh searing, his limbs gone. And it's just like, it's a very powerful moment for Kenobi, but I love it because as soon as Vera tells him, and he kind of has that moment in the space shuttle as he's going away, we get Vader, but Vader in the back of the tank. But, dude, Vader is jacked to the tits. This man is in full recovery mode. He's lifting weights in that bad boy, dude.
It's funny because it's like he must have, like, as soon as Obi-Wan knew, he knew as well.
Well, yeah, because he opened his eyes and everything.
Because Vader clearly knows that Obi-Wan is alive.
Right, of course.
But I think now he knows that Obi-Wan knows that I'm still alive. So it's like... Wake Vady up. It's time for him to go. It's time for him to play. Yeah.
So you definitely think, no matter what, we're going to at least get one interaction between Kenobi 100%. And Vader.
Probably the last episode.
Which is fine, but we got to have at least one battle between them. I'm going to be disappointed if they just tease it the whole time and they never meet face to face.
Well, that's how they do it in Rebels too, which is they really tease Ahsoka and Anakin because that was obviously her master. And then they have one fight in Rebels and it's fucking incredible. Yeah.
So I'm hoping that's what it is.
You can't have too much Vader.
I'm fine with that. But
he's like he's like the slasher. Is you just need a little taste because you want every time he shows up it to be scary.
Like in Rogue One.
Yeah,
that was terrifying.
And I love Ewan McGregor said the first time shooting a scene with him in full Vader, he's like, it is intimidating. Yeah. He's like, when you're in the room with that guy, even though you're shooting, he's like, it is scary. I can't wait, man. I'm loving this series so far. I mean, this and Mandalorian have been my favorite Star Wars.
I have some really great news for you, Cash. Episode 3 drops in 2 days.
I know.
June 1st. So we're going to get these Wednesdays now. So let's go.
And then after that, we'll only have 3 episodes left.
3 episodes left, yep.
Heartbreaker.
It is, but what a journey this has been, and thank you Disney Plus and Lucasfilms for putting this together. This is the story we wanted to see as Star Wars fans, so I'm very happy that it's happening. And Cash, I'm going to bring up one little thing. The cast said they had so much fun with this that they wouldn't mind. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but they said they would very much enjoy coming back and doing more if they could.
I mean, that's just too... It's very difficult to do, obviously, to write that story in. I mean...
What, season 2 of this?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm fine with it.
No, because Obi-Wan, his entire job is to be on Tatooine. It's not to be moving around, fighting, and that, like, it kind of retcons a lot of the older movies.
You would have to write it very carefully.
I don't think it will happen.
Because they've already technically kind of retconned a couple things.
Yeah, but it is what it is. The fact that even Obi-Wan is gone for whatever, a week or whatnot, and not it's a big risk.
Well, and even think about Leia.
Because if Vader found out he had kids, that survived.
Right. Well, think about Leia in The New Hope when she sends out the message to Kenobi and says, "You fought with my father in the Clone Wars," but it's like, how do you not remember him rescuing you?
And they'll have to explain that at some point.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
I don't, Yeah, so to do a second season is even be like, let's wreck on even more.
Yeah, it might be a difficult
I think
task.
they'll be perfect, dude. So let's do one season this, and let's keep doing new seasons of new shit. Yeah. Let's do everyone.
Andor looks fantastic. I'm excited for that.
Yeah, let's keep doing new stuff. Everyone, we don't need to stick with these same 5 characters anymore.
I know.
You know.
All right, well, that is our review for part 2. That was a lot of fun, Cash. Cannot wait to finish this series. Like this video, comment below, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell notification so we drop videos here every single day. Thank you so much for watching and listening. My name is Mason Ike. That is Cash Krause, and until next time.
Bye.